talk to the lads at work about a computer, love?
Oh, I knew there was something I meant to do.
Maybe you won't have to.
Well, I think we should talk to the experts.
You could be looking at the next expert.
What do you mean?
I start a computer course next week.
That's brave.
No, I found a real beginner's one. One where they start by teaching you how to put all the bits together and then how to turn it on.
You don't want it too basic.
Well, do you know how to put all the bits together?
No, I don't.
What bits?
Never you mind, love. And then by the end of it, I'll be able to make the right decision.
What decision?
About the computer, Jim?
Donald's dad has one, and his projects look so cool and neatly printed and pictures and everything.
Don't worry, love. I'm going to start a computer course next week.
But I can teach you.
No, I'm going to learn from a professional. And then if I think we really can use one, I promise we'll buy a computer.
Maybe Ma can teach you something. When can we get it?
When I finish the course, if I think it's a good idea.
So, any questions?
Do we have to do a test at the end of this?
No, you do the required work as we go along. Then the examiner comes in at the end when you're finished. Then you all get your certificates. The most important thing here is that you feel comfortable with the computer right from the start. You'd be surprised by how much you already know.
I'd be amazed.
You don't believe me? Okay. Tell me the name of any part of the computer.
The mouse.
Excellent. Now, that's not the furry little thing that lives behind the fridge. In computer terms, what is a mouse?
Just a grey thing here.
Excellent. Anything else?
Keyboard.
Perfect.
Printer.
Printer, well done.
The thing you need for email?
Yeah, modem, exactly. You see, you do know more than you realise. Now, tell me what all these parts of the computer do.
When you're trying to read or spell words, it's often useful to break them up into smaller parts or syllables. For example, the words useful and maybe have 2 syllables, useful and may be. Some words have 3 syllables, for example, computer. It can be broken down into com-pu-ter. When the letters T-I-O-N come together in a word, they're spoken as shun. If you see a word ending in T-I-O-N, it'll make it easier to read if you remember this sound and then break it up. So the word perfection is per-fec-shun. This will also help you to spell any other word ending in a shun sound. You want to spell intention? You can break it up. In-ten-shun. So it's written in-ten, T-I-O-N. You'll find 2 worksheets on syllables on pages 104 and 105 of the workbook, and you can put these tips into practice.
I tell you, Mairead, there's nothing to them. I've had 3 classes now, and we're moving on to doing email.
Bet you we get a computer. You just want to play games. Do not. Do so. Do
That's
not.
enough, both of you. Why don't you make me some tea?
I'd say we'll definitely get one. Sure, it's so useful. There are even courses you can do over the internet.
See? Told you we were getting one.
Jim.
Okay, I'll make tea.
Hi there, how did the course go?
Great. Thanks for your advice.
Now you'll be wanting a computer.
Yeah, but a graphics accelerator card, please.
You're a games player then?
No, I want to use it for my homework.
That's right. So we don't want anything too fancy. Just whatever you'd recommend for home use.
And of course, email.
Well, most computers nowadays come with a 56K modem, dear. Whatever that may be.
A modem for internet and email. Dad knew that, didn't you, Dad?
Yeah.
The computer you saw last time is on a special this week and comes with a free printer and a scanner. That's the one I'd recommend.
Great. That's the one we'll take, so.
Can we pay by cheque?
Is it a Euro check?
Yes.
Oh, that's fine.
You know you can send text messages from the internet to a mobile.
Yes.
No.
You're going to have to go to a computer course now, Dad.
No, he won't. I'll teach him.
No matter which bank you use, all cheques follow much the same layout and need the same information. You need to fill in the date you're writing the cheque on, here. The name of the person you want to pay goes here. beside the word pay. A cheque can be made out either to a person or, in this case, to a company. The amount of the cheque is written twice, once along here, written in words, and a second time in this box, written in numbers beside the euro symbol. Finally, you need to put your signature on the cheque. Your signature is just the way you sign your own name. If any of this information isn't complete, the cheque won't be paid, so it's a good idea to read it over before you hand it over. If you'd like some practice writing cheques without having to spend any money, there's an exercise on page 74 of the workbook.
Really bad up here.
Something really bad here.
More quickly, say, Shay.
Somebody's been eating
No,
our cabbage.
Shay.
My mother's pleased about me going back to the course, and she's delighted. I suppose she thought I probably did leave school too early. I suppose maybe she's a bit disappointed that way. And through these jobs I've been in and out of, she probably thought I was never going to go back to do that. But she's delighted now since I have went back to college, and she's very supportive, and she thinks it's great. So she's happy and I'm happy. We're all happy. My nephew is Shay, and he's 5 now. Me and him's very great. So he likes coming out for wee walks and all with me, and showing him what to do and all. Because we're starting to get dark,
Do you
wasn't it?
want to go into that forest again?
I wouldn't mind getting into the forest. Nope, there's no bears.
Well, you went in there before.
I know, but there could be bears now. That's why we need Dixie to keep us right. He thinks I'm a great fella, and like a sort of role model, the uncle and all, like, so I think he thinks I'm dead on now. Well, I'm chuffed too, because it's just nice, and sort of being an uncle adds a bit of responsibility too, to set a good example if we can.
You know what?
What?
I seen a fox at my house one time.
You did not.
Yeah, I did.
My advice to somebody thinking about going back into learning would be go for it, because I was the same. I was wondering now before I went there would I be able to do it. I was away from it that long, and it's never too late. And I think once you get the first day or so over, you just improve from then on, and it's about building your confidence back up again. But I would recommend to anybody, because it's certainly it's one of the best things I ever done. I feel more confident now in different things I do, meeting new people again. I can look forward now to have more of a goal I want to get somewhere, and I'll just hopefully something will come along, which I'm positive it will, that I'll really like. This is what I want to do, something different. I feel now I can really go on and hopefully do anything.
Okay, you can all go and make some lunch, and I will set up the computer.
Now, before we go, a quick look back at some of the learning points covered this week. If you want to phone someone who lives in another country, there are some extra codes you need to dial before the local number. You need the access code for the country you're calling, the area code for the city or town where the person lives, and then finally the local telephone number. So if you're calling someone who lives in Birmingham in England, the access code is 0044 for England, 121 for Birmingham, and then the local number. Email is short for electronic mail, and it's a quick and cheap way of sending messages around the world. To send or receive an email, you need to have an email address, which will look something like this. The first part of the address is usually the name of the person you're sending the email to, in this case, Mary Fielder. This symbol is short for @. The second part of the address is the name of the company that's sending the message for you, in this case, Indigo, and then IE is the code for Ireland. When you're trying to read or spell words, it's often useful to break them up into smaller parts or syllables. For example, the words useful and maybe have 2 syllables, useful and may be. A word like computer can be broken into 3 syllables, computer. When the letters T-I-O-N come together in a word, they're spoken as shun. So the word perfection is perfection. Intention is intention. All cheques follow much the same layout and need the same information. You need to fill in the date you're writing the cheque here. The name of the person you want to pay goes here, beside the word pay. The amount of the cheque is written twice. Once along here, written in words, and a second time in this box, written in numbers beside the euro symbol. Finally, you need to put your signature on the cheque, and your signature is simply the way you sign your own name. If you've any questions or you'd like some help on anything we've covered in this or last week's programme, call the NALA free phone number 1800 20 20 65. Specially trained tutors are there to take your call from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Calls are free and confidential. You don't have to give your name. Just ring the free phone line with your question and the tutors will be glad to help you. You can also phone this number to get your copy of the free Read Right Now learning pack. Following on her success in the garden, next week Betty decides she's ready to take on another DIY challenge. With a little help from family and friends, Betty once again proves to be a woman of many talents. And there'll be learning points on measuring, reading instructions and getting to know euro notes and coins.